Well, welcome everybody. This is the 9 o'clock hangout. I'm trying to do it a little different tonight. Got the toolbox, turn the chat on. I've hooked this up to my television. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll see where I can see it across the room. Okay. We need to open that up. What I'm doing tonight is I'm finishing off the trim because tomorrow I want to spray the clear. I did a movie that I'll be releasing tonight, a tutorial on how I inked these letters. Now, Bob Hunt wanted me to do a article for Stunt News on the stenciling of that. I don't know. I'm not much of a writer. I'm more of a movie guy. What I did was inked around here using the stencils. I'll explain it here, but if you want to see the outline, how I did it, you'll have to wait until this movie's uploaded. But I use these templates here, and these are cut out of the material that Tom Morris sells, and it's done on a sign plotter. So tonight, what I did was, first I did that. I laid out my stencils here. I got one on the other side. We'll paint up and peel off, and that'll be the end of the painting on the bottom. I did a couple other small things on the top side, and I'll show you that here as soon as I get this stencil off of here. Heat gun aids in getting this stuff up. Sometimes it can be difficult to get up. You don't want to pull any paint up. Hopefully Chris Rudd will show up tonight. I got his stuff all boxed up and ready to ship. I gotta get his address. But this is the bottom side of this airplane. You want to do the bottom and the top, you know, with the same amount of quality. I learned that from Jim Lynch on this airplane that hangs behind me. In here, it was I think it was about 2006 that I flew the S6B at the Nats, and I didn't do very well. I only got 16 appearance points, and I contacted Jim. I said, "Hey, why did I only get 16 appearance points?" It's because the bottom wasn't finished with the same amount of detail and care that the top was. So ever since I started finishing both top and bottom with the same amount of care, I started getting 19 points. So 18 or 19 points. You know, it's kind of all over the place. I was asked again if I would do the appearance judging. I'm not. I really want to fly. Then, depending on if this airplane flies really good, I won't be doing appearance judging. I'll be flying, but if it doesn't fly all that good and I can't get really practiced up, I'll probably do the appearance judging again, because I guess people were happy with it. Okay. So we got that done. I had just painted this. I'm not the kind of guy that lets this stuff dry. This is still pretty wet, but if you don't pick up the stencil right away, you stand a chance to pull up paint. That's just been my experience. So I try to paint it. Well, I'll show you on this other side. I'll show you with the rapidness of how quick I do things. We send a text to Chris. I hate texting. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay. Alrighty, aircraft spruce. Let's go to the messages, messaging. Well, there we go. We sent the message to Chris. Maybe he'll come on, and I can show. I got all that stuff boxed up for him. I need his address, and hopefully it doesn't cost too much because I just don't have any money. Hey, if you guys are going to order T-shirts, get those in. We got 4 more left to go before I can order those shirts. It's going to be a one-time deal. I use that his iconic Al Rabe airplane cartoon. God, I hate picking this. It's so delicate. If you this wing is silk span, it would be real easy to poke a hole in this. Can't get her started. Come on, I gotta get it off. Drive me nuts. So you can see the difference between the live stream and the streaming. I mean, when I'm live streaming, you're getting everything in real time. When I do the movies, it's all this stuff here is edited out. Let me get my other glasses and see if I can see it a little better. It does not want to come up. Anybody got any ideas how to get this up? I'd be more than happy to hear it. Now let's try a piece of tape. Maybe that'll get it up. I don't want to poke the wing. No. Nope. That ain't gonna do it either. Back to the old picking method. Got it. Ah. All right, I got that, so that's good. So what I do on painting these numbers here, let me move the camera. And this is, you know, the stencil's been on there. I'll take this off. These are my indexing marks so I can get it on straight where I want it. It just doesn't take much to do this kind of work. I mean, once you have the sequences down. Like I've mentioned in the past, I painted curb signs for people in Los Angeles. This is the exact same scenario we used to do, only my stencils were metal. So on this one here, the paper's not quite long enough, so I'm going to tape up the edges so we don't get any overspray. Sure was surprised to see that Jason Pearson passed away. Young guy, kind of a shame. Okay. I can't really see how many's watching. I know nobody's on board so we can talk to, but I see there's 4 watching. So I just kind of make sure everything's down. This is the low-tack masking material. This is not regular signed vinyl. Signed vinyl is just way too sticky. I'm going to tell you a secret about doing this too. If you wait a long time between coats, you stand a chance of pulling things up. So I do these all in one setting. That's all she gets. So I wait a few minutes and make sure I got it all covered good. Yeah, she's all covered fairly well. I sure wish you guys would learn about Google Hangouts so you could come in here and talk to me. You got to have a web camera, and you got to have a Google Chrome browser, and you got to enable Hangout, and you let the Hangout have control of your microphone and your camera. We're down to 3 watchers tonight. We started a little early. I'm not going to run it till 11 o'clock. I'm only going to run it probably till 10. And on these Hangouts, I'm not sure I'm going to do them every night. There's just not enough participation. Now, maybe this winter there will be some more participation. And, you know, got to have interest. Just kind of fanning it off to get it to tack up. And you got to kind of be careful when you're doing this next operation, because you have to pull the stencil away from the leather and you can't let it fall back on it, because if it does, then you smear it. Here we go again, picking. I think I better heat it up. I guess not. It's pulling off pretty easy. A lot of times I'll take the knife when we get to some of these complicated areas and I'll cut the stencil so that it doesn't come off in one big piece. It will come off in several smaller pieces. This paint is not dry, but I use that to my advantage actually. Perfect split for me. You don't want to tear off. You want to tear off going with the leather itself. Another perfect job. You see how quick that was? I didn't wait for a month for it to dry and none of that nonsense. So what I was going to do tonight is I'm going to get this spot finished here, and I'm going to pull the engine out, and I'm going to load it back into the paint stand for the final inking. And the final inking is the panel lines that I'm going to put in it. And tomorrow we'll do the set clear, which is about 70-30 thinner, 2 coats, and wait a day, and then come back with the 60-40 and wait a day, and then 60/40. You know, we're gonna try to get it done in 4 coats of 60/40. But the biggest tip of the night was these stencils. That's if you want to trace around your letters. If I wanted to trace around these letters in white ink, I would put that material in my plotter and cut a stencil and then set each one down and trace around it with the white ink pen. This side here is going to be a little more difficult. Come on. There we go. One. You know, I know some guys use vinyl and this, that, and the other. Well, you know, I'm not building monocoque airplanes, so I want the look of vinyl, but I don't want to feel it. And vinyl is heavier than paint. Oh, I got a phone call here. Hey, Jack. Hello. I'm on the internet now, on a live stream. What's up? I'm painting right now. If you go online and go to the thread live stream, you can see it live. I'm doing it right now. All right. Okay. Bye. Well, that was Gary Hayjack, and he's going to be coming on. I don't know. He doesn't have a camera, I don't believe. But he wanted to know if I was going to doing any painting. I said, yeah, I'm painting. Painting right now. So, that's that. So now I'm going to take the engine out of it. Well, actually, I want to clean up these lines right here. What happened over here was I heated the stencil up with a heat gun and it left the glue on the airplane. Not good. So I'm going to take some 70 proof alcohol and get that glue wiped off because I don't want to clear over that glue. And that line there looked kind of crappy, so we'll take that off. Now another good thing with that material is I've cut straight edges. And on those straight edges, you do the same thing. You just back it up with the tape and get it up off the work surface. You know, it only takes, you know, a 64th of an inch or a few thousandths or what have you, but it cannot be sitting on the work surface. I'm just going to take that line all the way off. And we'll redraw it. Because I'd rather redraw it than have that glue stuck on there. Now, I've stated in the past, it's I don't like wiping these lines off. For the simple fact, if you were here, you could see you can't end it. It always pulls a little bit of the paint or a little bit of the ink, you know, with the towel. So you got to kind of do it, pull it into where the line's going to go, if that makes sense. So I'll turn the camera here in a second and show you what I'm doing. But I want this model nice. So we got that off. Let me turn the camera. Well, you really can't see, and the cord won't reach all the way over there. Wouldn't you know it? See, this is a corkback ruler that I use for inking. It holds the ruler up off the material. I could do it with this, but the corkback ruler is metal, and this piece that I made is plastic. Here we go. When I first got Tom's material, the template material, I cut the longest piece off that I could, and then taped it up on the backside, about 5 rows of tape, so that it acts like a cork ruler. And I set it up where I want to do it, and I'm going to tape that down to the surface so it can't move. And that's basically how I'm going to do the inking on the wing and around the fuselage. See, this you can wrap around the fuselage with this flexible ruler. So I'm kind of doing a repair on this line because I just wiped it off. I didn't want any of the glue from the stencil residue on there. So it was so close to the ink line, we just went ahead and took the ink line off. Check on both sides, make sure that it's in line right, and it is. You'll notice when I'm inking, I try to keep the pen straight, the same speed, even pressure. Inking is an art, and I'm not the best at it. I mean, I get by. Guys like Gene Martin, Billy, those guys are really good. I told Billy in 04 that was the best inked airplane I had ever seen. It was his Thunderbolt. Unbelievable. So I repaired that line up there. Now I'm going to take the motor out. Let me, I got the controller right here. See if I can see that. That's right there. Let's back this out. And center. Boom. Okay. I'm doing this from across the room. It's on the television across the room. So I'm a little slow at this. There we go. I don't see any chatter over there. I know I see that I got 5 watchers. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take the engine out of the airplane and put it on my paint stand so I can get ready for the clear tomorrow. Let's turn the camera again. We'll take this engine out, put the paint stand apparatus on it, mount it up in the paint stand. I'll probably ink it up tonight, and if I get any action on this live stream, people talking back and forth, I'll stay on a bit, but if not, I'll edit up that other movie that I shot this morning, or this evening, and I'll load that up. But I got to get this ready for clear tomorrow. Supposed to be nice weather. Aircraft Spruce has come back on board with us. Make sure you go down to the vendor section. And the gal's name is Desiree. I've just put one post in there. They will be posting in there. They're having an open house. I don't live close to Aircraft Spruce. I live close to Wicks. But okay, what happened to the bolt there then? See, the reason for these hangouts is so that you guys can talk to me. At least type in a question or something. Kind of had to modify my paint stand holder so that it would go in this airplane. It was set up for PA-75, but a PA-75, the lugs are a little wider because it wouldn't fit down in there. That's all right. We got her all fixed up. Don't flip off the bench. So I'll be moving the camera here again in a second. We'll put this in the paint stand and kind of get a lay of the land how we want to ink it. So take a couple screws out of here. I should have bought that Jim Lee drill guide. Jim Lee's got some good stuff. He's made the extensions for this. I mean, he makes great parts. Yeah, see, it didn't want to fit down in there. Very good. We're going to need to drill it out. It's just too tight. So I'm going to walk over the drill press and drill this out real quick. That's the bad thing about these live streams. It's, you know, I can't edit it out and there's nobody on talking, so it's kind of boring, but I'm going to have to drill this out because it is too tight. I don't want to bend the screw or screw up my airplane, so. Bear with me for a second. Be right back. That didn't take too long. Here's what I had to do to the mount to get it to fit. I had to notch it. I just didn't want to fit down in there. Come on, Chris, get on there. I need your address so I can mail you this stuff. If you guys been following along at night, I molded up those pieces. Well, I got them all done. I'll show them here. Another bottom block for one of these. I probably should make a mold, but I don't know. Okay. I'm debating how crazy I want to get with the ink on this. You know, I want some on it, but it kind of looks good without ink. I need my quarter drive air ratchet for this. Long-winded. Okay, this thing is set up, ready to be inked. I'll move the camera and set up the paint stand. All right, get the paint stand. These Byron marker paint stands are the greatest. I mean, it's not really a big deal to make them. Only a few pieces of angle iron, but boy, what a great idea it was. Chris has got a real nice one too in his basement. that's hanging from the ceiling. Let me get the quarter-inch Allen wrencher. Certainly don't want her flopping around. All right, now I put the airplane in the stand. And I'll move the camera for a better angle when I get that done, which will probably be over here. Now I got a repair on an ink line here on the side that I had to do. Right here, and we'll do that before I get it going any farther. Seven viewers, but no talkers. Give me about a 2-minute break for a second. All right. Nature call, guys. Okay. So now, what had happened was I inked these lines up here, and I had a mistake, and I had to wipe it off. And that alcohol and the rag will get away from you in a heartbeat. Well, I dripped a little alcohol down here, and it took one of the lines off. So we're going to repair that line before I go any farther. I've already went around and oh man, I can't see. I've already went around and doctored up with a brush all the little tick marks and things that the tape had pulled up. And once the clear goes on, those little tick marks will hide. But I want to get this line fixed. It's not really all that bad. Like non-existent, really, but I know it's there. Nobody will ever know except me. Well, that basically did it. I'm going to try to fly this next weekend. Okay, I got that fixed. So now we got to decide, what do we want to do for ink lines? Oh, I have to ink line the cowl up here. So that's the nice thing about the paint stand. The paint stand you can move in any direction that you need to. to hold these things. Up here by the chicken. I thought about putting a white eye in the chicken, but I did paint a little red, white, and blue shield on it. I'll show as soon as I get this inked up here. A piece of tape. I hope somebody comes in. If they're in a little late tonight, if anybody's coming. And yes, guys, this is in real time. It's not. I'm not streaming. Well, I am streaming, but this is real time Hangout. It's not a posted video or whatever. Now there's something that I don't know what's going on there. Acts like there's some wax on it or something. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's up with that. So what's happening is the ink is not sticking. It's kind of puddling out on it. So I'll take some alcohol, wipe it off. If that doesn't work, baby powder. I know that sounds weird, but more tricks to the trade. Ah, stuff is nasty. Like there's some oil or something on it. Could be from my hands because I've been handling it up there on the nose. I really can't move the camera to the other side. I've moved the computer from the other side, and now you can't see what I'm doing on this side. I need something that's wireless so I can just move it around. Okay, let's give this another try. I think that should probably do the trick. Going around this corner in front is what's going to be a problem. So, absolutely, that fixed it. Okay, this line here that I'm doing is basically like the line how I showed how I did the outlines on the X and the Y. I did it with strokes. Well, I'm going to do that with this as well. So if you want to know what strokes are, watch the movie that I upload later on this evening, the tech tip of the day. And I see what there was glue on there. So I'll wipe it off first. I'll get this camera and move it because I'm going to come to that side, and we'll move it, and I'll show you what I mean by stroke. And I don't know whether I can get it to look perfect. And if it doesn't look perfect, I'll wipe it off and paint it. Yes, some of my ink lines are painted on. If you can't get it to look perfect, paint it. Okay, let's get the camera here, see if we can. What I mean by stroke is this line goes around and around inside the cowl. So obviously you couldn't do that in one setting. So I'm going to go right from where it turns back. And that'll be one stroke. And then come from the other direction, and that'll be the second stroke. So and I already screwed it up. Damn. So easy to do. So before we go any farther, we'll wipe that off and start again. Should have went and got paper towels today. Let's take my ruler back down. All right, we'll try again. That is one stroke. That means that I made that one pass in one line. So I'm not going to worry about around the corner until I get the cowl off, and I'll do the cowl sitting with it between my legs. So basically this pen is done. All the big lines are on the airplane. Now, it's a matter of thinking out an ink pattern that I like. That'll work. I think I'll do the inking on the stabilizer first, because it takes less thought. Because I've done a million of them. But the finer the lines for these panel lines, the better it looks. If you can see here, I painted a shield on here. It's navy blue on top, red, white, and blue stars, just to fill a spot there. Matter of fact, I need to ink around that. Now, I'm going to ink around that freehand with a 2.60 thousandths. So we'll take the flap off, and I got to get comfortable to do that. And before I paint this, I'm going to come back with a brush. See if you can see that. Come back with a brush and paint these stems orange. Not that it's really necessary. It's just that, just in case, you can see them. So let's see if we can give a view on this. I got to be comfortable to do this. And I want to ink around this. But I'm going to do this freehand. This takes some practice and some a pretty steady hand. As I've said, I used to paint signs. I probably can go around that and not look too bad. And if it does look bad, we'll wipe it off. Yeah, that don't look bad. I'm not sure there shouldn't be bigger, but nope. So I remember when you're doing this stuff, especially freehand, you have to be comfortable. You have to be confident. You can't, well, maybe this will be okay. No, you gotta practice and be comfortable. And do the stroke method like I told you. One stroke. You can't make mistakes. You can't color it in like a coloring book. So you're pulling a line basically like pinstriping. That looks pretty good. Let me clean up this edge here. The fine lines are a little easier to control than the wide lines, like I showed in the other when I did the XL. Let's see if we can see it on there. Yeah, that kind of just defines it a little bit, makes it stand out, makes it, you know, this is not a decal, this is painted on it. You know, I just don't paint any or use decals much. Phil Granderson, his airplanes are all decals and he does a marvelous job. I wish I knew how to do it. I don't. So I just paint everything on and I get what I get. I have some Letra sets I don't use much of. I wish I could make my stencil cutter cut those really small letters, but it takes a laser cutter. So now we got to do this other side. Let's see, I won't have to take the flap off for the one. I might have to do it for the other. I'm not sure. Just get comfortable. Even pressure and even speed. And I should have practiced a couple times because that one's perfect, better than the other side. So I think I'm gonna have to take. I wanted to do the around stun hanger on these flaps. Boy, that would be a lot of work. It'd probably take me several hours, and it still could happen. See, now here I don't have a way to get comfortable. So this line may not look good. I will give her a try from here. Looks fine. So that's that. And that turned out good. So we're okay. I'm thinking about outlining the XL on the back. I mean, how much work do I really want to put into this thing? But it is a lightweight model, so maybe quite a bit. So it looks like I have no takers, and if in 10 minutes I don't have somebody to talk to, I'm going to end the stream. Because I'm pretty sure it's boring for everybody. Let's see here. I wish I had some blue paper towels, which I don't. So the inking back here I'm going to do with a cork back ruler. For the simple fact, I can measure with the ruler. You want to make sure your ruler is clean, no glue or boogers attached to the side of it, because if it has, like this one does, the pen will skip, jump. I just take the knife and kind of scrape it off. So having cleaned up the edges of the ruler, we'll lay down a couple ink lines back here and see what we can come up with. Now, I believe I'm going to ink it about a 1/4 inch away from the trailing edge and about a 1/2 inch out from the fuselage. And then we'll run a line, kind of just make a box. You want to, when you're inking, I liked what Wendy said at one time. You don't want to have any toilets using an architectural pen or whatever, template. You don't want to have any toilets or windows on there. So what you're trying to replicate with ink line is real airplane panels. So you know that an airplane panel is not going to be running sideways. They always run fore and aft or port to starboard. And that's left and right, forward and backwards for you guys. So we know that there's a spar in the high point of the stabilizer, and there's probably a spar on the trailing edge. We're going to simulate that with a ink line. So 1/2 inch out from the fuselage, and I don't measure, this. I just kind of eyeball it, approximately a 1/4 inch out from the trailing edge. We're not building watches, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's only simulating it. Put this in there. Another thing I do when I'm inking, I more or less highlight what's already there. So if I got a cowl line, why not just extend the cowl line all the way back and make it look like the cowl line was part of the build? So there we have the first ink line on there. It's 0.60 thousandths. Looks pretty good. Like I said, we know we're going to have a leading edge. So approximately the same distance from the leading edge, and approximately a 1/2 inch out from the fuselage. And we'll make a line here. So it's about right here. I see I got a little scuff there. Damn, even the slightest little jerk makes a nib. So I gotta wipe the nib off before I even get started. And I'm out of paper towels. Damn. But that is the nice thing about ink, you can just wipe it off. try this again. So I'm going to mark it on the ruler so I can see how far out I am, so that I can attach to mine. So we're at 12. We're at 12, ½ inch back. Who we got here? Tom. Tom, I think that you have a slow internet connection. I hear something. Mute your mic, please. If you're going to stop inking in a line, stop on the intersecting line so when you start again, you can't tell. I'm going to have to mute you, Tom, because all that noise in the background. Yep. I'm going to have to turn off your sound. Now it ain't. Tom, mute your mic. Thomas, can you hear me? Hello? Yeah. I'm going to have to mute you somehow. There we go. All right, I don't know if that worked or not, but until you get that figured out, I can't, every time your mic goes on, it takes away from the broadcast, so I had to turn your mic off. All right, so we got the first line in there. We know that the tips are attached on it somehow, so I better get my, I have a little metal square. And we're going to rig this up for inking, which I do sometimes. I also rig it up for sanding. But we'll rig it up for inking here. Got to put some tape on the back side of it. Well, Tom's gone now. That's a good thing. I mean, like I said, it drives us crazy. We can't listen to chatter. So what I do with the square, because I want this line here square, I'm going to take and run tape on the back side of this thing, and we'll make a couple of turns on it with the masking tape. Now you can tape it up so that you can make a square shape, or you can tape it up just to use it as a square, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's 2. 2 and 3 and 3. We'll just go 4. 4 and 4. So I went around it 4 times. I got four thicknesses of tape on it to hold it up off the work surface. So in order to get it square, I'm just going to square up to that other line. As I stated, I'm not the best one for teaching how to ink. Gene Martin and those guys are, but I get the job done. Another thing that the judges look for on appearance, at least I do the ink lines meet and stop right in the corner? And that does there. So now put one close to the fuselage here. That's at the 75. Not acting right for me. So there's one panel, and that's probably all I'll do on it. It's going to be a pretty simple ink job. You know, I got to tell you, I see that there's 10 viewers viewing this now. Part of the Hangouts is so that you can talk to me. So either you type in open chat on the comments box, or you turn your camera on and chat. Otherwise, this does no good. I'll just go back to making movies and forget it. But it's been an hour, a little over an hour. Nobody to talk to. I think I'm going to wrap it up. I showed you how quick I paint those numbers and remove the stencils. I did the bottom. I'm going to load up the movie on stenciling for these lines here, and where I did that one. But I think it's coming out rather nice. I'm not going to get too crazy on the ink because I don't want to busy it up too much, but I do want some on it. And let me zoom out and see what happens. Let me know in the comment box what you think of the airplane, what you think of the stream, what you think of my channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you're going to get a t-shirt, please do so before Monday so I can turn those orders in. The tribute to Schulte with the Bearcat, which is a cool cartoon. That took me about 100 hours to digitize the first time. And Schulte was sure appreciative of it. And he's going to be missed. So is Jason Pearson. He's going to be missed. I can't believe he's gone. But it's going to be time for me to do another roll call. I don't like the idea of that. I see we got 8 viewers and no talkers. What's the story, Larry? What do you think? Did I pick the right colors for this thing this time? I know I didn't care for the purple one, but been a while since I done a. This is a takeoff on one of Billy's paint jobs. Billy puts a lot of work into his models. I'm not sure I want to put that much into it, but it's light. It's really light. So if I don't kill it with a clear, we're going to have a winner. So I'm going to cut the stream. I'm going to go eat because nobody talked to me. Last night I did a stream, and before I got it uploaded, somebody gave me a thumbs down. Hey, if you don't like it, you know, you don't need to thumbs down it. Let me get it up and edited before you give it a thumbs down. You know, I'm only a one-man band, a one-man show. This live streaming Hangout stuff is basically for the winter so we can all hang out together and talk back and forth. As I stated, if you get Google Hangouts, if you have a webcam, you can join the chat and we can see you and talk to you. So during the winter, it'll be kind of a good thing. And Chris, if you're watching, if you send me your address, I'll mail you the mold bucks. Oh, I forgot to show you those. The mold bucks and the magnesium parts. As some know, I've been, you know, I'm going to build another one of these. Let me turn this here. I'm going to build another one of these. And I had the original bucks for this thing. There we go. And I molded these pieces up. But I did these a little different. This one here is an 1/8 inch thick because it's 2 pieces of 1/16 together white glue, and 3/4 of an ounce, and there won't be any starved horse look. And this here is about a 1/2 ounce. Let me see exactly what it is, and it's 1/8 inch thick. Let's see what I did with the scale. Right there. I'm pretty sure it's a 1/2 ounce. Yeah, 1/2 ounce even. So that'll be good to go. So my 2 pieces are done, Chris. And as soon as you give me your address, I'll send you those mold the bucks back, and you can do whatever. If I get it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow. If I don't get it tonight, I'll do it Monday. So thanks for watching. Sorry it wasn't more entertaining. I don't do any dancing or tell any jokes or anything, but till I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.